So Fred, good morning, thank you.
Good morning.
So the object of us here today is we wanted to have your intake, your take, your views being a black male. And we're celebrating, Black History Month
Right.
at Converse Church this month. So we just wanted to just ask you a few questions, just get your take on it, just to give a little insight for other people, just to have some ideas and of what Black history means to you.
Right.
So if you're okay,
Yes.
can you at least just state your name, your age, just to get a feel of, how long you've lived on this earth.
Okay.
So your full name and your age.
All right. My name is Frederick Nichols. I'm 33. I'm originally from New York. Moved to Willingboro when I was like 19. Stayed with my grandparents for a while. Finished school out here. 'Cause I was causing ruckus up there. So my grandparents came and molded me and helped me out and came out here, changed my life around. Now I just bought a house. I own 2 businesses. I have 2 children. I have my son. My oldest son is here today. Here giving me support. And
Beautiful.
yeah, I'm just Fred, just a normal guy. I like to keep God first. I like to always challenge myself to do better and to see other people, other minorities do better too, especially people come from the backgrounds that I come from.
Beautiful. So let me start with asking you, so when you hear the words Black History Month, do you associate that with the past, or do you think of it like with the past and the present, or is Black history more, is it bigger to you? Is it continuously, is it working from past, present to the future?
Well, Black history means a lot to me because it's a month that's notifying and notifying, our past history as Black people and things that we have done and things we are doing now, past, present, and future. I mean, if you was to ask me, I feel as Black history should be taught 365. I think it should be incorporated with regular American history, you know what I mean? Because the Native has been here, Caucasian people have been here, we've been here. So I think sometimes with 1 month, I believe that sometimes, this is just me, my opinion, that we should just have this, we should be blended in with throughout history books, social studies, all of that, commemorated for the groundwork we put on, whether we were slaves. Not everybody was a slave during slavery. Some Black people were free. And did a lot of great things, what I mean? They should be commemorated for that past February, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, people get upset about the month. They like, well, we only get the shortest month of the year. But I think people should speak up and say, okay, well, just put us in the history books throughout. You know what I mean? I don't think we need a month. I think we just need to be recognized,
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what do you think one of the biggest challenges for the Black culture has been for them to move forward in a positive way?
One of the biggest challenges for the Black community to come together, our biggest challenge is really just working with one another, really, in all honesty. I think a lot of times we get into this stigma of not trusting each other.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we had, the slavery and all that. We had the Jim Crow and all that, but now the ball is in our court, I feel. And I feel as us as a people, we just need to start trusting each other just a little bit more and not thinking like he's out to get me, she's out to get me. No, let's help each other out. That's what I try to do even with my business is I hire anybody, so I don't discriminate. But I try to help people that look like me, because I have Hispanic roots and I'm Black. And I try to help out people that look like me and try to, especially younger kids like my son age and a little bit older, and tell them like, listen, hey, You know, I'm not your enemy. You know what I mean? A lot of times we listen to rap music, and I'm not saying rap music is the crux of it, but sometimes we watch movies and raps and feel like this is what we are, and we don't try to see past that. Mm-hmm. I think we need to elevate our vision, you know, and I think we'll get further ahead if we trust each other and share our vision, you know, right. You know, share, you know, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, all right, well, okay, I mean, I like that, but I like this. Let's bring it together. You know what I'm saying? And make something, you know, bigger, you know, mm-hmm. Let's build, you know. So they say Rome wasn't built in a day, but, you know, reach one, teach one, we all get together and we can actually, you know, either buy back our community, make a community, or, you know, just trust each other more. That's right. All. Because I tell people all the time, you know, everybody be like, hey, man, Camden's a bad city. Trenton's a bad city. And I'm like, well, Trenton and Camden don't kill nobody. It's just a city. It's the mentality of the people, right. You know, not trusting each other. You know, I got to get over on you because I'm trying to get ahead. Not knowing me getting over on you is pushing me back. Mm-hmm. So it's never like Newark or Camden or Trenton. It's not the cities are bad. It's that we don't come together, which makes it bad. So, right. You know.
So what do you think, from your perspective, what do you think are some of the greatest strengths that the Black culture can or has offered in the world that the world can benefit and learn from?
That we trendsetters, you know, that you know, learn that we're the trendsetters, you know. Mm-hmm. Learn from our struggles, you know. They started from the bottom. Now we here, Drake's song, you know. We started from the bottom, you know. Not everybody, like I said again, not everybody was a slave too, but those that were slaves, people started from the bottom, from slavery. And now look at us now, you know. Now we're presidents. Now, you know, we're movie directors. We're, you know, we're doing a lot. You know, we had the first Black president. And I'm saying that was never thought of. We were slaves. When our ancestors were slaves, we didn't think, I can be the president one day of this country, mm-hmm. You know. So that's the progress we see. And you know, people can see that, you know, in the past, it was very hard. You know, it was very hard for minorities to get ahead, you know, particularly Black and brown people. And now where we're at now, owning businesses and being in charge of things, it's like, yo, we started from nothing. And now we're something now. So people can look at that, you know.
So in your lifetime, what has influenced you while you were growing up, you know, within the Black community? What has influenced you?
You mean like growing up or just in general?
It could be either way, in general and growing up as a Black man in the community. What's had the biggest impact in your life?
Well, that's a good question. Before I got saved, all right, God is ahead of my life, but you know, what influenced me was really kind of the gang culture that I used to be a part of. Not trying to say that, you know, everything was negative about it. You know, I did learn a sense of loyalty, being there for one another, love for one another, and stuff like that.
A sort of fellowship kind of.
Fellowship, right. That's what influenced me. And then seeing people that in my neighborhood that were, you know, getting their money, wherever they had to get their money, I saw them have money. And I said, you know what, I want to be my own boss. Because most of the time, people in the community are looking for a way out. Whether you're selling drugs, selling dinners, whatever. You're looking for, the root thing, we're looking for a way out. Mm-hmm. You know, and sometimes it gets, people start doing things that they shouldn't do. But seeing that as a kid, I remember when I was my son age, 12 years old, in New York, I would see, you know, guys on the corner, or I see dudes with the chain and all that. I'm like he his own boss. You know, so I took that negative. Yeah, he was doing something negative. He was, you know, doing what he was doing. But I said, hey, I can take these work ethics and do something positive. So I took what I saw that was negative And I said, well, hey, I can incorporate this in my own life. You know, I can build my own business. And instead of selling something I'm not supposed to be selling, I can actually build a job where I can give people jobs where they will stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So that's what influenced me as a kid. Now it's really the same thing though. Like when I go back to where I grew up at, I'm always trying to talk to my friends about ownership. Hey man, be your own boss, man. Do something positive with your money, man. Let's buy property. Let's start a restaurant from the ground up. You know, that's just my thing. I mean, that's what influenced me. Knowing that, what influenced me now is the potential that I see now. So when I was 12, it was, I want to be like him, but I want to get in trouble like him. You know, get what I'm saying? But now I see the potential. Like, y'all want to be entrepreneurs? Well, here's the way. Let's do it this way. So that's my way of giving back.
Okay. So what do you hope for now, you being a black male figure, a father?
Right.
Now, a Christian?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you hope to contribute, let's say now, to Black history?
Like I said, well, I do Black History 365. Like, I'm on it every day, past February. But to answer your question, what do I do now for the community from February and throughout the whole year? What I try to do is like I said, I love everybody. I want nobody thinking I love everybody, I love every race. But what I try to do when I hear a black company is started, a black person or a Hispanic person started a new company, I try to support them. So I will go to them first. I will go there, buy up their whole store if I can, buy everything if I can, you know, if I have it. And I try to support black businesses. So I try to give $1 to a black company if I see one. You know, I'm on this Facebook thing called Black Owned New Jersey. So I'm always on there, you know, finding new businesses to go support. I'm always promoting the business too on my Facebook, Instagram pages. I mean, if you're a black and brown person starting something, I'm definitely going to push you out there. Hey, go to this guy's store, give him a review. You know what I'm saying? And also hiring people. You know, I also hire people that need jobs. You know, people, especially, you know, guys that, you know, or women that come straight out of jail. You know, can't find no way. They need work. That's my way of giving back too. Okay. You know, telling them they can come and work for me and treat people nice. You know what I mean? Treat people nice and try to stay positive and try to look past and try not to think that everybody's out to get me. Because that's how I grew up in the streets. You know, it's always, he's out to get me. I'm gonna get my gun, and that's not how we gonna get ahead. So my way of giving back is just, you know, trying to uplift people that are in the positive direction and try to propel them to, you know, to that level and try to get them to stay there. You know, let's stay positive. You know what I mean? Let's keep it positive. You know what I mean? You're on a positive wave right now. Let's ride this wave. Don't go backwards. Keep going forward, and that's what I do, you know.
Okay, that's great. So it sounds like you want to leave behind being known as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, a motivator.
Right.
You know, of course, a positive father figure for your son, and just kind of embedded him Christian values, you know, along with the moral values of just becoming a good citizen.
Right.
And fellowship.
I do that with my son now. He'll tell
That's
you
right.
now. My son, I tell my son a lot while we be home. Like, my son works for me at 12 years old.
Good.
Yeah, he works for me. Like, when he's not in school. Now, since the pandemic happened, now he's a little businessman. He'll do his schoolwork on his computer and then be like, Daddy, I'm done. He's done with his work like in 3 days early. So I'm like, okay, well, you're not done now. You can go to work now. He's like, oh, I got to work. I'm like, yeah, you have to work. You have to work, you know. He understands, like even now, he'd be like, well, Dad, how much I get paid an hour? I said, well, minimum wage is 10 an hour, so 10 an hour. I'm paying like I pay everybody else. So with that, my son learns the value of money. Now I'm trying to teach him how to save his money. Because my son will get his first check and he'll blow it on. He'll blow it on something, but he's a kid, so he's gonna do that. But I try to tell him, listen, okay, now you done spent up your whole check, now what you have now. Letting them think now, like, okay, the value of what you have. This money is not frivolous. That $1 means something. What are you gonna do with it? Right. When you run out, the next paycheck ain't coming till next Friday. What are you gonna do? So that's just putting these, that's what I do with my son, putting him on that now. And then my youngest son, he's almost 1. I put him on the, when he gets older, I'm putting him on the same path, like value yourself, learn now. Don't wait till you're 16, learn it now. Because you'll get 16, like, what do I do? But at 12 years old, the Bible say, train up the child in the way he should go and he will never leave, or something like that. And that's what I do. I train up my son the way he's supposed to go,
I like what you just said there. You're teaching him to value himself. And I think if you start that really early, like you just say, you start with teaching another human being,
right,
while they're growing up, not just learning their motor skills or their speech skills and all, but learning how to value themselves first,
right?
And then the importance of money, and a lot of those things, they don't get that in school, and it does start in the home,
right? Because a lot of times these kids really don't really know any better, really. Even when I go to my nieces, my nephews, or see my, the little kids when I go back up north, a lot of times these kids don't really know the way. A lot of times when kids do certain things and go to jail and get caught up, I'm like, well, they didn't know any better sometimes. Sometimes they really don't know till it's too late. Now I'm 18 years old and I got a rap sheet about long as my arm. I don't know what to do. Now I can't. Now I'm out of opportunities now because I done messed up my name. So try to get them at, young as possible so they could know, like, go this route. Because if you mess up, it's hard to get yourself out that ditch. It's hard. So don't get yourself in that ditch so you won't have to worry about that. So that's what I try to do.
So for my final question, how has being a Christian put a mark in your life? Has it, I don't just want to say the word impact, but how much of it do you incorporate in your life, and has it really radically changed you knowing God, or have you known him for a long time and just kind of stray away, or how did you came to know about him?
Well, I've been raised in the church most of my life, and I done seen some things happen in church because being I guess you could say I'm a preacher's kid, so my mom's a preacher, so. Oh, okay. Right. So when you see things as a child, give me my little upbringing as a child, you're looking like, it's some things will make you question God, like, why are my parents doing this? They supposed to be saved. And so I ain't gonna lie, like, for a minute I left God. I stopped believing in God. I said, I don't believe in God no more. This can't be true. But God himself revealed himself to me through situations that I were in. I will pray to God like, God, what's going on? You're supposed to be real, but you're not real because people represent you, they not real. But I had to look at it like, don't get mad at the representative of the person, because people is going to be people. The Bible say that. The people are going to be people. God stays the same. I had to learn how to trust God, because it wasn't easy. I'm a guy that I come from the hustle. That's all I know is the hustle. So it's like, okay, God, you saying don't sell drugs or don't do this, but okay, so all right, so what are you going to do? And when I did that, it was crazy when I started letting God actually putting God first and actually living into his word and focus on me. Because the Bible says, focus on God and all his blessings will fall upon you. So I can't worry about what mom's doing, pop's doing, brother doing, sister doing, cousin, auntie, uncle them doing. I got to worry about what I'm doing. Right. So I had to worry about being accountable for myself. And like I said, God revealed himself to me a bunch, even up to now, God's still revealing himself to me, I remember for a while, I wasn't even going to church for a while too. And then I met Pastor Jay doing a skit for Miss Angie B when he just had Destiny. And it was a skit. I was playing a homeless guy, and I was supposed to impede on their worship service in the park, which I did do, acting wise. And I ain't gonna front. Like I was in church for like years, like just years. Like I had followed my luck, didn't have much, didn't have nothing. I couldn't provide for my son. So I was like really like, and as a man, you want to provide for your kids, you know what I'm saying? So when I couldn't provide for my son, I was like, yo, like this is crazy. I'm really on my low. So having to meet Miss Angie, she was like, hey, you know, 'cause I did acting for her before. She said, hey, you know, I got this church. I want you to play a prank on them, this, that, and the third. And I was like, all right, bet, I'll do it. So I go get up, you know, and I do carpentry work. That's my thing. So I brought some clothes that looked like, you know, I was living on the street. So it wasn't really all that hard. Only thing about it, I just got a lineup not too long ago. So she asked me to do this like a couple days in advance, a couple of days before. And I was like, I just got a nice shape up. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So I did it, and everybody was compassionate, but with the skit. You know, I was a homeless guy that needed food, clothes, and these people were really, I felt bad because they really was concerned about my well-being. And in my mind, I was done with Christian religion. I was done. I ain't gonna lie. I was really done, but I'm a loyal person, you know, so if you call me and be like, yo, Fred, I need you to do something for me, no matter what religion you are, if I like you, I like you. So I'm like, you know what? I rock with Miss Angie, whatever. So when I went there, they was trying to give me clothes. They was trying to put me in a hotel. And I'm looking like, yo, this is not right.
So is it saying that they showed you compassion, fellowship?
Right.
And they kind of just showed you a whole different side of what you had seen before?
Yes.
Or hadn't seen in a while?
That's basically what it was, though. Like, I basically saw something different in Christians. Like, everybody that was there was just different. Because I was reluctant. Because I'm like, I'm about to impede on this man's worship. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know none of these people. They don't know me. I said, so at the end of the day, you know, these people can call the cops on me. You know, these people can, or, you know, escort me out. They had every right to. I impeded on their worship, so they had every right to carry me out if they wanted to. You know, call the cops if they wanted to. But they did the opposite. They actually kind of stopped the service a little bit, focused on me and was trying to give me cleaning products. The one guy got me something from Wawa. Like, it was crazy. I was like, you know, when it was over, I was like, yo, I'm like, you know what, God? I'm like, let me give this Christian thing another chance. You know what I'm saying? Let me try this out again. Maybe I was in my, young people say now you be in your feelings. So maybe I was just in my feelings. Let me get out my feelings. Let me stop being mad with you. Let me take ownership for things that I do and predicaments I put myself in. Mm-hmm. Let me try you. Let me really try you. And I have to say, like, you know, since I got saved again and been coming to church more often and doing things for the youth ministry and stuff like that, like, I have to say, like, my life it's been, you know, I have my storms and they're going to come. You know, it's the weather. You know, we got 4 seasons, but, you know, I have to say that God been showing out in my life. You know, I have to give God the credit for everything that I do.
Amen.
You know, God gets all the glory. You know, I tell people all the time, it's never me, it's God. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, man, God giveth, He taketh away. You know, it could be here today, gone tomorrow. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes God would see what you would do if I took it from you. You know, will you still love me? You know, God has to see, okay, or, you know, if I put you in this predicament, what would you do? And sometimes God will test you. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be times where it will get hard, and God's going to test you. He's going to see, like He did with Job. He's going to see, well, let me see, where's the love at for real, for real? Mm-hmm. You love when I'm blessing you. Mm-hmm. Well, when you call me, I don't pick up my phone, what you going to do then? Are you still going to love me? Are you still going to tell people how good I am? Or are you going to sit there and bash me? So I tell people all the time, man, you know, trust God and be prepared for them storms and don't be scared of the storms. You know, right. God, like I say, God trained up a child on the way they will go. God's training you. So when that storm comes, you already know what to do. Mm-hmm. You already know what to do, you know, so you talking to a guy who who lost everything and got it all back, you know, with God, you know, so.
Amen.
You know, that's what I tell people all the time, keep God first.
Well, I've been blessed by this interview, I gotta say. It's great to see you. It's great to hear, you know, your testimony and just your view on just life, what you're dealing with, and I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you.
You know, with your endeavors, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And Thank you so much for taking this time out.
Nah, thank y'all though. I want to thank Converge Church for calling me and thinking of me to do this, because y'all could have called anybody else. So I'm grateful. You know, glory to all be to God.
Amen.
But thank God for, you know, placing on your heart to have me here and hear what I gotta say. Because
Amen.